Hey guys, just wanted to do my quick review of Agent Carter, Season 2, Episode 3. Now, basically, this episode, this is where, what's it, not in, Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark, decides to reintroduced into the show. He's directing a movie based on a comic book in which there's a self-deprecating joke made by Peggy Carter saying, "Really, a movie based on a comic book? That should go over well." And basically, they decide that Peggy brings the pin that she got from Dottie over to Howard Stark, and he recognizes it as part of a place called this Arena Club. So Peggy, Jarvis, and Howard decide to infiltrate it and place listening devices and figure out their connection to the Isodyne explosion, because it turns out that Dr. Wilkes, basically Peggy's love interest for the season, is being framed as a communist not only because of the color of the skin, but also to cover up their involvement in the Dark Force / Zero Matter incident. And so because the Arena Club is men's only, Howard Stark decides to bring in all these whole horde of women into it to entertain the men. And in the confusion, Peggy's able to sneak in and put in some listening devices in order to gain some evidence against them and to figure out what their plans are and their involvement in the Isodyne incident. But ultimately, the plan doesn't come to fruition because the listening devices are disabled, and the whole investigation is being obstructed by Jack Thompson because he doesn't believe the whole idea. He just thinks that takes the evidence, whatever false evidence it was, at face value, in spite of Peggy and Daniel Sosa trying to convince him otherwise, that the evidence was too easy to find. But even though, and so at least there's some tension between Peggy and Jack, bringing up the fact that he's being a coward and he'd rather just bury things rather than face it head on, which is a callback to Season 1, in which Jack Thompson fought in World War II and killed some Japanese soldiers when they were surrendering, and decided to bury their bodies and the white flag just so he could say he's a war hero and be awarded his medal, as opposed to facing up and he had to live with the shame of it. And considering it was a low blow, he decided to tell Peggy, "Oh, you know what? Just go back to New York. You're done with your assignment." But then throughout the episode, you realize that there are these objects floating around Peggy whenever they're metal or different apparati. I'm not sure what the terminology is, but then you realize that it turns out that it's Dr. Wilkes, who's, after Howard Stark comes up with a formula to make him corporeal again, is on another plane of existence because of the Zero Matter, and was trying to communicate with Peggy. That's why all these objects were floating around her. But Howard needs to go to Peru to talk to an old associate about how to make the effects permanent and bring him back from the other world. And even though Dr. Wilkes wanted to go with Howard and not put anybody else in danger, Peggy decides to convince him otherwise, to stay in the United States and let them and stay by her side so she can be able to help them. And it turns out Winter Frost, or as we find out later, his name is Agnes Cully. She realizes Peggy's going to be she's not going to stop digging into this, and so, using her acting abilities to start crying and fake sympathy for her husband, she manipulates him into sending an assassin to go after Peggy. It fails thanks to Jarvis's intervention, and then And I guess like the biggest development after that is that because she's absorbed, because Winterfrost has, absorbed some of the dark force, is that when the director of her movie comes in and convinces her that, oh yeah, the studio heads are going to fire you, but I convinced them otherwise, and they're hugging, and the hug lasts a little bit longer than it's supposed to, and you kind of realize that the director has the hots for Frost, that she unintentionally uses the dark force to absorb him in like a horror film style, and she becomes horrified by her own power, and is left with her realizing, you don't know like exactly what she's capable of. She just kind of like, I don't know if she like absorbed, like it just killed him, like just almost like ate him, or just like a part of him, he's now a part of him now. I'm not really sure, but overall, it was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool episode, and I enjoyed it. There's a little more balance between the drama and the comedy, and you also get to, I also don't know what's up with Jack Thompson, because Kurtwood Smith convinces him to, after watching the video of the demonstration with the Zero Matter and the Dark Force absorbing all the military vehicles, he convinces him to, suppress the evidence and hand it over to him just to further his career. And he invites him, he gets an open invitation to the Arena Club, in which he finds out that they're manipulating the LA Times into publishing an article saying that a rival senator is dropping out of the race against Whitney Frost's husband, Chadwick. So I don't know if he's gonna be like a double agent, or he's gonna be on the side of good, or he's just gonna be corrupted and become an enemy. It remains to be seen. And what do you guys think of the episode? Just let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.